Welcome to
Friends Explained,
the show where we dive deep into the
hidden meanings and dark secrets
of one of the most esoteric and Kabbalistic television shows in the history of Hollywood. The show starts in a seemingly irrelevant fashion, except for Chandler the clairvoyant, who again tries to
wake up the audience
by telling a story about how parents lie to their sons and daughters, and instead of telling them their dog has died, they create a story in which the dog goes on to live in a beautiful ranch. Chandler seems to be telling the audience to be aware of what their government tells them, since
all rulers
deceive their people into going to war or
invading other countries
by creating a fake scenario that gives them comfort in thinking that they are doing the right thing. Later, as Chandler helps Joey in rehearsing for an acting audition, Chandler tastes cigarettes again,
triggering back his addiction.
This is no accident, since this episode seems to be a metaphor on Vietnam and the opioid pandemic of the 70s. Back in the coffee shop, Phoebe arrives as she complains about discovering that she has an extra $500 in her bank account, pretending she didn't use
black magic
to get them. Chandler sees right through that and makes a very revealing joke when he remarks that it was Satan's minions at
work again.
Phoebe's friends advise her to keep the money. Who cares if it is
stolen?
Is this a comment about how Western society enjoys the spoils of an imperialist government? Phoebe reports the stolen $500 to the bank, and instead of deducting them from the account, they reward her by giving her an extra $500 more and a football-shaped
telephone.
At this point,
the message is clear.
We live in an economy that rewards thievery in the form of corporations, and the football-shaped telephone represents sports and entertainment as a device to forget the consequences of our crimes. Phoebe pretends to be oblivious to the situation, but we know better than that. At this point, it is clear that she is a master
manifestator.
Phoebe then gives the money and phone to a homeless woman, subconsciously drilling into our head
that Satanists are good-hearted people.
Meanwhile, Chandler's addiction is so strong that he smokes relentlessly at his workplace. It is interesting to note that we will never really know what Chandler's actual job is, since the whole show seems to be a dream. It is rather interesting that Chandler stresses so much about his work.
Wait, are we in a dream?
Phoebe makes the homeless woman buy her a soda, in which she discovers a human finger.
Let that sink in.
Everyone tries to convince Chandler to stop smoking, but fails. Then, something very interesting happens.
Chandler receives a call from Alan,
a man who Monica is dating. We do not hear what the man tells Chandler, but whatever he tells him is so disturbing that Chandler immediately agrees to stop smoking. Was this a call from God? From the devil?
Or both?
Phoebe receives $7,000 from the soda company for finding the human finger. She will later give that money to Chandler in agreement that he will never smoke again. This seems to be a critique on the war on drugs that the United States government has been fighting for decades, in which money is thrown at the problem,
but little is made about what causes it.
Meanwhile,
Moloch's strength is growing. 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 Moloch's strength is growing.
Stay tuned for more answers in the next episode of
Friends Explained.